In this video, we're asked to prove angle 1 congruent to angle 4 if we know that angle 2 is congruent to angle 3. Okay. Most generally we put in our given information or a picture, so we know that. Whenever you see two angles uh, that form a straight line like angle 1 and angle 2 do, you want to talk about what those angles are going to add up to. I know that measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2, because it forms those two things added together form that straight line right there. Their sum is 180 degrees. The second part of the angle addition postulate says if two adjacent angles form a straight line, then their sum is 180 degrees. So my reason here is the angle addition postulate. And how did I know to look at angle 1 and angle 2? If they didn't want me to look at that or to use that idea, they wouldn't put angle 1. They wouldn't identify angle 1, or they wouldn't identify angle 2, okay? Because they number them for me, it just draws my attention there, and I recognize, hey, those two angles form a straight line, okay? Some people refer to those as, angle 1 and angle 2 as a linear pair, because they're a pair of angles that form a line. The same concept happens over here with angle 3 and angle 4. We form that straight line there across the bottom. So let's say a similar statement, angle 3, the measurement of angle 3 plus the measurement of angle 4 is equal to 180. Okay, and again, that's the angle addition postulate. Okay, that's really all I can get from my picture. There's no vocabulary words in my given, so I can't do anything there. I looked at my picture and I came up with those two angles add up to 180, and then those two angles add up to 180. Now, what's nice is we start to see patterns here. Whenever we see two statements like that, both of them equaling 180, what I'm going to do is take this part here and set it equal to that part there. Okay. So I'm going to say measure of angle 1 plus measure of angle 2 was equal to measure of angle 3 plus measure of angle 4. And the reason we can do that is because measure of angle 1 was 1 plus measure of angle 2 was 180. Measure of angle 3 plus measure of angle 4 is equal to 180. They were both equal to the same thing, so let's just set them equal to each other. Okay, let's cut out the 180 and not even worry about it. Let's just say these two things are the same. And that's essentially the best answer there is transitive property. If this is an A, a B, and a C, and those are generic terms, but if A is equal to B and B is equal to C, then A is equal to C, and that's what I've shown. If you call it substitution, I'd be okay with that too. The next thing we always want to do in this progression of a pattern here is whenever you have two things equal to two other things, two measurements or two values added together equal to two other values added together, you always want to try to eliminate something from the left-hand side and eliminate something from the right-hand side. I recognize that nothing shows up identical in terms of symbols. Measure of angle 1 doesn't show up here on the right-hand side. Measure of angle 2 doesn't show up on the right-hand side. 3 doesn't show up on the left-hand side, and measure of angle 4 doesn't show up on the left-hand side. So because, I don't want to look at things and saying, well, symbol-wise, nothing matches up, so I can't remove anything. But value-wise, okay, these things are representing values. We know from the given information that measure of angle 2 is equal to measure of angle 3. So those are the values that show up on both sides, and that's what I want to subtract or get rid of. Before I actually do that subtraction, I have to talk about, we start off being congruent. I actually want to talk about the values, so I change from congruency to equality. What allows me to go from step 1 to step 4 is the definition of congruency. And just remember, whenever I want to subtract things, I always need to be talking about measurements, whether they're angle measurements or distances. I can't talk about the actual figures. Okay, angle 2 congruent to angle 3 is talking about a figure, a shape. Here it's talking about a number or a value of an angle. Okay, so now that I've done that, now I can recognize, well, hey, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Leaves me measure of angle 1 equal to measure of angle 4. The process of actually getting rid of those two values on both sides is subtraction. And now if the measurements are equal, we can say that the shapes are congruent by your definition of congruency. And now we've shown what we were asked to prove.